Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and this is not a review. That sounded like I was like winking like it actually is. Let me do a neutral take. This is not a review of Batman Deadpool #1 because I did not read it. This is a video about why I am refusing to read this. So currently, and again, for the millionth time, I got incredible pushback when I started saying this. Now people just go like, yeah, so what? So for whatever reason, I'm guessing because they hate art, right-wing YouTubers fake movie reviews. They pretend to have seen it. They fake comic reviews. They either completely pretend or they read like one page or sometimes one panel and do a whole I'm offended, I'm protesting. But it makes it very clear they didn't read it because literally sometimes the panel above or below the panel they're offended by explains why they're doing it. So I just want to reiterate, I did not read this. I don't intend to read this. This is a video about why I don't intend to read this. So Batman Deadpool #1 just came out, and if you say no, this is the old cover. It's very, very similar in layout to Deadpool Batman. Obviously, Deadpool Batman by Marvel, Batman Deadpool made by DC. It's a joint venture, but they're each taking and doing their own thing. Now, Deadpool Batman generally did not get good reviews, but I wanted to check it out because everyone who was giving a bad review to it, like they had an angle. Like Rob Liefeld has a beef with Marvel right now, so he's going to not like it. Other YouTubers, they just hate things for a living. But I was kind of reverse engineering from what they said about it, and I'm like, it doesn't sound that bad. One of the things they were saying is the main story is really short. It was like, I don't know, like 23 pages. Now, my understanding is that, oh God, why am I blanking on his name? Capullo is not that fast of an artist anymore. So when I see that it's like 48 pages, but only like half of it are from Capullo, I go, I know what the issue was. They knew they couldn't get, 48 pages from Capullo in a timely manner, so they turned it into an anthology. Now, there is some debate on what makes an anthology. Usually anthologies have some sort of a theme, like lesbian bike riding, which is it was a thing on Kickstarter a few years ago. I don't think they do it anymore. But so you have an anthology where it's a bunch of short stories, usually kind of roughly around the same length, but not necessarily. And then you have backup stories where you have a main story, whatever, Sergeant Rock, and you have a backup about the unknown soldier or whoever. And usually the ratio is, vast majority from the main story. The backup will be 4 to 8 pages. Now this one, it's again around, this one's longer. This one's, I skimmed it. Looks like to be about 28 pages or so. But then it has 5 backup stories, to which I say, please stop. This started a couple years ago. I mean, throughout the history of comics, there's been backup stories, there's been anthologies. There used to be a thing where if you had prose, just no drawings, like a page or two of prose, then it could qualify and you would get better mail rates for shipping out. I don't think that's the deal anymore. But if you ever read like a really old story, and it'll be about the Shadow, like a comic, and then it'll have a 2-page like chapter of a Shadow story. That's why they did that. Now, DC, probably about 15 years ago, they really started doing we are going to get this out no matter what. So if one artist can't draw it, we're not going to give him time. We're going to get 1 or 2, sometimes 3, usually 1 or 2. So that's why, when you read DC Comics from the last 10 years, you'll see like one writer usually and like 2 to 3 artists. kind of all of the time. And there's some artists that are really slow. I saw a oh my god, Thinking Critical video where Wes is like, Alex Ross used to be a staple on interiors. No, the fuck he wasn't. He's done like 4 miniseries in 30 years. Like, I complain when he uses ChatGPT, but he's more accurate. But some artists have a very intensive style, whether it's a lot of pencil mileage, or in Alex Ross's case, where he's painting the pages and he's using models and he's hiring models and he's, making dioramas and moving lights around to the light source. That's a lot more time consuming than someone like Mark Bagley, who has a classic monthly style. What I'm trying to say is that Dan Mora can draw 48 pages. He can draw 48 pages for this event and still have, whatever, Batman and Robin, and not miss a beat. He can do it. He is a high-quality artist who can also meet a monthly or more pace. So when I flip through this and I see 5 different stories, I'm just like, man, we gotta stop this shit. Because there used to be a book called Marvel Comics Presents. And I know there's this weird thing on the right to act like all comics from the 80s and 90s were good. Marvel Comics Presents fucking sucked. At best, you would have like one good story, one okay story, and one complete crap story. But the good artists quickly stopped working for it because it was so low prestige. So by the end, you're just getting complete nobodies. And I mean, it was an absolute chore to read this, because if you like something, well, it's going to be a short story and it's going to be 8 pages. And then you got to buy 10 of these issues in a row with, even if you get Barry Windsor Smith, the backups are going to be absolute fucking dog shit. To which it was just so fucking frustrating. And it's weird to me that the least satisfying form factor is the physical, what do you call it? Type of story. An anthology is now basically all books are kind of an anthology. Because if you write an issue of Batman and it's got 3 different artists. Now sometimes they do the thing where it's like, oh, like the flashbacks are with this artist and the main story is with this artist. It's like, it would be a lot better. Like, they got New Gods. So I'm catching up on. And this one, they got this really great artist. And he really hasn't been able to hack a monthly pace. So basically they get as many pages as they can out of him, and then they have someone else do the rest. And sometimes he only does like half the book. This one, amazingly, with a huge battle, he does like 75% of the book, which I was very excited about. And the prologue is by Dennis Cowan, who's excellent. So I don't have a problem with that. But man, dude, I mean, you see it with like Kirkman's been doing this. When he has a new series, he'll get a bunch in the can. And as someone who has had an issue with lateness, but LAX is arriving today on the 20th, and I've got all the Gemini mailers, I got the labels, I got the packing tape right here. I'm going to start packing it up tonight, sending out some of the books Friday, probably most of them on Saturday, maybe a few on Monday, and then it's done. Like, I will have launched a campaign, printed it, because Kickstarter has some rules, like this isn't supposed to be a store, this is supposed to be about creating something. So I'm like, okay, if I print it, it's a store. So I finished the print, well, we finished the print file, and then afterwards, it's done. It's like, okay, go to print. And they were able to go to print like really quick. I approved the their proof, because we make our own proof, but then they make their own proof and show it back to us. And then we're like, hey, quit copying us. That's stupid. But anyway, like it's just, I mean, it is still blowing my mind. But what I'm saying is, one of the reasons I was able to catch up is it was some self-loathing. Because before, when I was late, I was like, well, you know, all these excuses. But then you have Eric July, who is an imbecile, who can barely string words together to speak. And he can get stuff on time. It's like, you know what? Figure it out. Figure it out. So, now, once upon a time, they were able to get monthly out because people had expedient styles that could be done in a monthly pace. Now, there's an expectation of extra detail and quality so that very, very few artists can meet a monthly pace. So, you just get ahead. You know you're going to launch a new Batman book next year in the summertime, so have like 6 issues in the can just ready to go. And then if someone starts to flame out, you say, hey, we were going to have you on the next 2 arcs. This time we're just going to have you on this one, and then you are going to leave if you can't keep up with this. By the way, you had 6 months to get ahead, and that's how they should run these things. Because I've actually liked most of the secondary artists they've had in this New God series. But man, you know it would be fucking awesome if there was just 6 more months in the schedule. Like, they're like, hey, we're going to commit to a year of this. We're going to get 6 months ahead. And the thing is, weirdly enough, well, not weirdly, just I don't think people expect this. Shipping, fulfillment, that's the major expense. Production is really not that bad, especially for a floppy. Even if you're paying like good rates like I do, like I think I pay basically about the same as DC. A little bit more than Marvel, I think, as far as I know. Although these things vary from artist to artist, writer to writer. It's not that expensive. You know, so commit to a year, have 6 issues in the can, and then we don't have to constantly deal with Evan Cagle drawing pages 1 through 7 and whatever, 15 to 18. It's like, no, Evan Cagle draws the whole thing. Dan Mora should have, first of all, nobody cares about these stupid ass fucking backup stories. Anthologies fucking suck. We don't need some silly billy slice of life crap about characters people barely care about. It's 2025. Nobody likes Harley Quinn anymore. So you're really advertising Batman Deadpool. Give us, oh my god, a 48-page story. You used to be able to do it with annuals. You would have a main story about, 36 to 48 pages. Then you would have like one backup, maybe like a diagram of how Daredevil's, Billy Club, the mechanism works, whatever, the 4 Freedoms Tower, something like this. But this fucking pseudo-anthology type of comic, stealth, and like, did anybody want Batman Deadpool and Deadpool Batman to be essentially a floppy length story and like 5 backups of varying quality of characters? They teamed up Nightwing with Laura Kinney and Honey Badger, because remember when it was funny when people said honey badgers when Obama was president? That's funny. Anyway, woke DC wants to kill you. No, but seriously, we got to stop with these pseudo anthologies. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.